Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Kentucky lawmakers are still reacting to what many call an outrageous display at the state capitol. And we bring you some important deadlines to remember as we head closer to the 2020 primary election here in Kentucky. And we talk with one local hotel owner about how Memorial Day weekend impacted their business after months of low numbers due to COVID-19.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Lacey Roberts, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. Today is Tuesday, May 26th, or like we call it, Monday 2.0, and it's feeling like that weather-wise. It's going to be another gorgeous day outside, but of course that humidity comes with it. Let's bring in Brandon Robinson to tell us about our day and the rest of the week. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Lacey, and we're going to see not too bad of a start to the day in some locations. Some locations dealing with some dense fog this morning, so kind of keep that in mind as you travel. Mountain Parkway starting to pick up a little bit there in Powell County with some traffic this morning. We go on over to their temperatures, and you see not too bad. Low to mid 60s for the most part, some upper 50s over towards Southwest Virginia. So we're going to continue to watch that trend as we head deeper in the day. It's going to go upward, and you'll see that heading into the mid to upper 80s a little bit, or not mid to upper, low to mid 80s. Mid to upper 80s was yesterday. Today's a little cooler there. But the rain chances will continue as we head deeper into the afternoon. We'll talk all about that coming up in a few minutes. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon. Sickening, hateful, and vile. Those are just some of the words state leaders have used to describe protesters hanging the governor in effigy. That happened on the grounds of the Kentucky Capitol Sunday afternoon. Garrett Weimer has the details from Frankfort.
Chalk art between the Capitol and the mansion leaves a new message for the governor. We're sorry. Protesters outside on Sunday had a very different message for him.
Extreme behavior really is a reflection of our polarized political environment.
Polarized or not, lawmakers and other leaders agree hanging an effigy of Governor Beshear crossed a line.
This is not Kentucky. This is a small group of people who do not represent our state.
Response to the effigy was quick and it was strong. Many lawmakers and other leaders from both sides of the aisle were quick to condemn the actions and say there's no room for it.
To send a message that is so hate-filled, and certainly I think for our citizens of color has even deeper fear-mongering in it. That's just unacceptable, and that's not what Kentucky is.
Senate President Robert Stivers called the actions reprehensible, even though he often disagrees with the governor. House Speaker David Osborne said he was outraged, adding, "The party of Lincoln will not condone this. There is no place in a civil society for it, nor is there any good to be accomplished from it." And while the messages here now strike a different tone, analysts say there is a lesson to learn.
I think the larger question is what kind of cues people get from their political leaders.
Because some impressions certainly last longer than chalk. At the Capitol, Garrett Weimer, WYMT Mountain News.
And we do not know if the people who hang the effigy were part of the rally or if they were from a different group. The rally's organizer has not responded to a request for comment. And today is the deadline to register to vote in Kentucky's primary election, which was delayed 1 month due to COVID-19. Last week, the governor and Secretary of State announced that Kentuckians who are registered to vote may now request mail-in ballots online. The deadline to request those ballots is June 15th. The election is June 23rd. Kentuckians may still vote in person if they wish. We have links to register and how to request mail-in ballots on our website at WYMT.com. Just search for vote. And it is a good place to distance yourself and still have lots of fun. That's what people are saying about being at the lake this summer. A packed parking lot at Conley Bottom Marina on Memorial Day Monday was evidence of a place a lot of people believe that they could go and stay safe. People at the marina were doing their best to social distance while enjoying the unofficial start to summer.
Obviously, we encourage the social distancing. We don't allow people to congregate at each other's campsites or at each other's boats.
Local law enforcement said they did not see any crowds too large or receive any complaints of mass gatherings at the lake like some other states have. Other marina owners say not only are rentals up for this weekend, but they are expected to be for the entire summer. And many people spending a good portion of their Memorial Day weekend on the road. And when they are not traveling, they still need a place to spend the night. WYMT's Madison program talked with one hotel owner who says the weekend helped soften the blow from the coronavirus.
The sounds of vacuums and mops echo through the hallways at the Microtel in London.
Especially being an interstate property, we get a lot of people going from Michigan to Florida and everywhere in between. So we want to make sure that everyone feels safe, especially people of all ages and health concerns.
The last few months, the hospitality industry took a hit.
A lot of states have been doing the lockdown orders for to stay at home, not even travel. And obviously, if you're a hotel business, you want people traveling, stopping at your hotel.
Randy Singh, an owner of the Microtel in London, says his hotel numbers are down 37% from last year.
In 35 years, we thought 2008 was really bad. This is definitely the worst for us.
But Memorial Day weekend gave them some hope as people traveled to places like the lake and Cumberland Falls.
This weekend was kind of like perfect timing of the storm. Obviously, it still wasn't what it usually is, but it did seem kind of normal.
With more traffic comes increased cleaning and sanitizing.
There's like 10 major touch spots in a hotel, like door handles, faucets, anything like that, countertops, that they spray the solution on, leave it for 45 seconds to a minute, and wipe it clean.
While they still try to provide the best possible service.
We are still serving breakfast that people have to take to their rooms. It's kind of grab and go options.
Offering as much normalcy as possible.
Things will get better. We'll get through this together.
As they continue to keep their doors open for people to have a place to stay. In Laurel County, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Singh says restrictions were lowered at the right time for his business to see more customers this Memorial Day weekend. And salons across our state were finally able to open back up yesterday after being closed for roughly 2 months due to the coronavirus. Kayla Holbrook, who owns Karma Spa Salon in Hazard, told us she is excited to get back to doing what she loves and being able to see her guests. However, the salon does have safety precautions in place to help protect everyone inside. Guests must have their temperatures taken, fill out a risk exposure survey, and wear a mask while receiving services.
We follow guidelines from 3 different sources: the Kentucky State Board of Hairdressers and Cosmetologists, the Kentucky Barber Board, and through Aveda because we are an Aveda salon. So we've kind of blended all 3 together, and we're going by suggestions from those 3 sources. We're more like 10 feet between chairs right now instead of 6, so we're trying to go above and beyond.
The salon asked guests to arrive 15 minutes early to fill out the risk exposure survey. Guests are also asked to wait outside in their cars until a hairdresser calls, texts, or steps outside to let them know that they are ready.
6:09 here on this Tuesday morning, and a beautiful start to the day at Stonecrest Golf Course in Prestonsburg this morning. So not a whole lot of issues in some areas, but some areas seeing some pretty dense fog. So be careful of that this morning. Temperatures across the region in the 60s, with the exception of Jonesville there at 59. A lot of low to mid 60s, some upper 60s on those ridge tops. Your headlines: chances for rain continue basically daily. A slow down as we head toward the end of the week and the weekend, and then maybe a drier into May and maybe a cooler and drier beginning to June. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon. And thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, as states slowly begin to reopen their economics and lift restrictions, gas prices are creeping back up. We'll break down those numbers.